Well, thank you so much for joining this quick how-to video on the actual Lync meeting feature, as well as the add-on within Outlook that allows you to control this feature as too. So you have two different types of Lync meetings. You have one that's reoccurring or constant, and then you also have one that's a one-time instant. The difference between the two is the constant one always has the same URL link, so that is your URL link, as well as the conference ID, and the instant meeting creates a new one each time. So depending on what type of meeting you would like to have, you have two different options. So the first one through the actual Outlook client, if you go through this new meetings drop down within the calendar button, you'll see this Lync meeting add-on. If you click on that, it'll give you a quick calendar invite including your actual URL to create a meeting. This is your unique URL that is reoccurring or constant, so you'll have the same ID each time. You also have the options within the calendar to go over to people, search for someone, and based on who you're looking for within the calendar's feature, you'll have this schedule meeting, which is essentially the same thing as bringing up an invite for you, and then you can click on Lync meeting from here as well. So multiple ways to actually schedule one from the actual Outlook client. Now from Lync, while in here, if you want to view what that meeting is, you go through the options widget, tools, dial in conference settings. It'll redirect you to the sign on page. It would be the same as your Outlook username and password. And while in here, you can see your same URL, your conference ID, as well as the ability to reset your PIN and understand what your in-conference control features are. So let's go ahead and take one of these Lync meetings and join. It'll use your Lync client and pull up this conversation piece. Now down here, if you have somebody that's waiting to join, you'll see them immediately appear. You can hit omit and just bring them straight in, or you can go to see lobby and see who's trying to enter the meeting. You also have the ability to omit or deny access for anyone. In this case, let's go ahead and just hit omit all, and you'll see that my guest is joined. Now if you need to add additional people to here, you can do the invite more people. It'll allow you to search through your contacts. You can type in names. You can also use phone numbers. Or if you don't know, you can dial in directly their email. Next, if you hover over these toolbar at the bottom, they'll bring up these pop-up windows. The first one is I am, so same feature that you're probably used to already. Audio options, so you have a dial pad. You can use your 10 key to dial in. You can mute everyone. You can put a call on hold. You have multiple options within the actual dial pad. Next one over is devices, so you can switch between devices if you choose, as well as control volume. And you can transfer calls, so if you have additional phone numbers in here, you can transfer them as well. Next one over is your video conference settings. So it'll give you a preview as well as the ability to start video chatting immediately. Next, you can say what you want to share. So you have multiple options: desktop, a program, PowerPoint, whiteboard, where you can both write on it at the same time together, so like a collaboration whiteboard, as well as a polling feature and Q&A. You can also go over to attachments and add attachments to this meeting as well. So if you want to maybe share an itinerary or maybe like training documents is a great area for it as well. Next, you have the ability to control your participants as well. So maybe you want to mute everyone, look at attendance, no IMing, all that kind of stuff. You have the ability to do within the Actions tab too. Participants is pretty much the same as this other participants window that's behind it. Same ideas. Last but not least, you have these more option features down here. So if you click on here, it's the same thing as earlier, going in, looking at meeting entry info. So you can see I'm on a recurring meeting and not a meet now or single instance, as well as additional things in meeting, stuff like that. Also, you can change how this box looks by going into the view. So currently I'm on a speaker view, but if I wanted to do a compact view, you can switch those around depending on what your preference is. Now, if you ever end a meeting, it'll just give you a quick little recap, as well as the ability to rejoin from down here. And then last but not least is creating a single instant meeting that's got a unique URL each time. So if you go to this Meet Now drop down, it'll immediately create it for you. You can also go here, Meet Now, it does the exact same thing. I can also see that this is a unique meeting ID. It's down here, different. Unique. Well, I hope this has been informative, and thank you so much for joining.